Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining. So, I have a message for somebody who you've been feeling like you're juggling a lot, or you are getting all of these creative ideas out of nowhere, and you feel like you're not sure which direction you should go. You're doing an awesome job with all of the different responsibilities you have. I'm picking up on somebody who's a caretaker. You could be a parent of young children, or you care for a lot of animals. But you're somebody who always shows up for the people that need you. And because of that, you feel like you're being pulled in all these directions, but you also have this urge to create something. Especially something in the art field. So it could be like painting or writing a book or making music or something online. And you feel like you have so many responsibilities that you don't really have much time left at the end of the day to really devote to your craft. And even when it comes to your hobbies, I feel like there's so many different hobbies that you want to do, but you hardly even have time to do like one of them. So I feel like recently you've made some changes when it comes to your health specifically, and your career as well. So you've been making great progress in your career. You could have gotten a promotion recently, or you have been able to get into a good workout routine. Maybe you joined a gym and you've seen a lot of progress in like your physical body, and you've been reaching goals in that area. You could be making renovations in your home, trying to improve your living space. And you just feel like there's so much that you have to do. But you're actually being called to take a break instead of finding time when you have some free time, thinking of, what can I check off of my to-do list in this 30-minute period of time I have. You're actually being called to just take some time and rest, and even play, have fun, do something that makes you feel like relaxed some way, whether it's reading a good book or watching a show that makes you laugh, or taking a bath, doing some kind of self-care thing. But I feel like doing this might feel like it's like when you're feeling so overwhelmed by all these things on your to-do list, it's like the last thing you feel like you should be doing is nothing, basically. But it's in those times of the quiet, and when you're pouring love into yourself, that's where you'll find the clarity that you need to focus on that one thing that you're really supposed to be doing. And I know life is crazy, especially when you have kids or people that depend on you. You can't just let all that other stuff go. But I'm also seeing that you're about to have someone come into your life, some type of companion. It could be a person, but I'm also seeing like a lot of animals here. So like you could come across like a stray dog or a stray cat that shows up at your door, and you take them in. And I'm not sure how, but something about that connection, there's some kind of spirit guide for you. And something about that connection and the way that you nurse that animal back to health is going to give you some kind of clarity, or will help you reprioritize your time. So you might be spending time on people or things that leave you feeling really drained, like you're giving too much of yourself to other people. And this will give you not an excuse, but this is something that will kind of take top priority, and you won't really have much of a choice but to say, sorry, I can't do X, Y, and Z for you today because I'm doing, taking care of this animal, or whatever it is that shows up. I feel like it's going to be something sudden, unexpected, but it's something that needs to happen. And this will allow you to reconnect with your inner child. So maybe you're a very serious person, and you're so busy all the time that you don't really have time to just like play and have fun. So if this is like a dog or a cat, this is an animal that will allow you to like take a step back and look at the bigger picture, and realize that you can't just be all work all the time. There's a time for work, but there's also a time for play and relaxation. I'm also getting this might lead to more time spent out in nature. Maybe you're used to being inside all day. Maybe you work in an office or you work from home, and you feel like you don't really have much time to just like take a walk outside. But whatever this companion is that comes in will kind of force you to go outside, and that will help you feel more grounded. So this is that creativity. Like, I feel like when you're busy working, you get these creative bursts, this urge to create something. And you have all these brilliant ideas that are coming in right now, but you feel like you don't have time for it. So write down those ideas as you get them. Just take a second, grab a notebook, and start writing down some of those ideas. I feel like they're going to help you, because maybe right now you feel like there's no way you could possibly have time for a hobby, but something's going to happen that will change the amount of free time you have to work on something. So now's the time to kind of start writing down those ideas, so that when you do have some time freed up, that you can go back and look at these ideas. So you might feel really conflicted. You might feel guilty when you're not doing something that is like productive. It also says, so you also might be the kind of person that you're worried, you're very like conflict avoidant. You don't like telling people no when they ask for help. But this card says conflict is inevitable, but through honest communication, you can find a way to resolve issues and strengthen your relationships. So if you are in kind of a one-sided connection where you're the only one giving, that's not sustainable. And that's also not really helping the other person help themselves. They're kind of becoming codependent on you. And that's not really the best thing for either of you. So, I think if you're honest with people and you say, sorry, I have this thing going on, I'm just not available today, then that will allow them to learn more how to rely on themselves. And it doesn't have to be in a harsh or mean way that you express these things. It's all in the way that you say it. And some people will have a hard time with you putting up boundaries. And I feel like for some of you, some people might end up walking away. But that's not really the kind of person that you want in your life anyway. So especially this is leadership. Especially, I have Cancer and Aries out here, so that could be in your chart somewhere. But Aries is Emperor, Cancer is the Chariot, and I feel like you are standing up for yourself. Maybe you're the kind of person that's kind of a pushover, and you kind of go along with what everyone else says because you don't want to, you just want peace. You don't want any conflict. You want everybody to get along. But I feel like you're kind of looking at things from a new perspective. You're learning, where your priorities should be. And you're taking a stand for yourself. And this will actually, other people will actually respect you for that, for standing up for yourself. Even if they might be annoyed that you're not there for them 24/7 like you used to be. I think that's admirable. For you to love yourself enough to realize like you have your own life and you have your own goals, and it's not really fair for you to be brought down by somebody who can't really stand up for themselves. I mean, they can, they're just choosing not to. Innovation. Your creativity and innovation are shining in your work. You are thinking outside the box and bringing fresh perspectives and solutions. So having more time for self-care, to meditate, that will allow you to open up yourself to new ideas, and your intuition is going to be stronger. And I think you'll have a better idea of what your purpose is. You might feel like you've been having a lot of brain fog lately. Like you can't really think straight because you're so busy. And you're being urged to take time, first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed. Take 15 to 30 minutes to really being open to receive ideas from God and direction and wisdom from God. and however you choose to do that. You could be doing yoga or meditation or like devotions of some sort, but just making sure you're prioritizing that time first before anything else. And I think everything else will just kind of eventually fall into place once you set your priorities straight. And that's why you feel like you're being pulled in all these different directions and you're having all these ideas, but you don't have the time to do anything. God is going to make time once you decide that you're going to prioritize that. You're being urged to find balance. So make sure you're balancing work with pleasure. Spending time doing something that is for you, that you enjoy, pouring into your own cup. Because right now things have been too focused on giving to other people, and that is important. I'm not suggesting you don't give to anyone, but there's a point where that becomes excessive and too much. And you're being urged to make sure you learn to take a break when you need to. Listen to yourself. If you're exhausted, take a nap and don't feel guilty about that. So you're a very empathetic person, and you wish that you had this overabundance of energy and time to give to the people around you that need your help. And that is so admirable. But I'm getting the analogy of like on an airplane, they tell you to put on your own oxygen mask first before your children, because you need to be functioning well enough in order to take care of the ones that rely on you. And if you're giving too much of yourself to too many different areas of your life, then you're not really, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're not able to show up for people 100% that really need it. And I think as long as you if you have to tell someone no, you can't help them with whatever, you can express that in an empathetic way and maybe offer suggestions on how they can help themselves or find help through other means without giving up more of your time and energy than you have to give. And just trust in God's plan for you, because I feel like you're going through this transition. You're entering a new cycle where things are going to be very different. And it might feel like a big change and very sudden, but if you just kind of go with the flow and allow it to happen, it's going to lead to so much fulfillment spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and I just feel like you're entering this new phase in your life that's totally different than what you've experienced so far. And you have this amazing work ethic, and that is very admirable, that you have you have so much integrity in your work and in every area of your life. But you also need to learn to let go and have fun sometimes and reconnect with your inner child. This is decision making. You are making important decisions in your career, and these choices will lead to long-term success. Your decisiveness is your strength. So you're going to be faced with some kind of decision here, and maybe that's why you're being called to take more time so you can get more mental clarity. You might have to cut out some things temporarily to make room for something new. And you're going to get the clarity on the questions that you're asking in times of meditation and quiet, and when you're alone and not distracted. Expectations. You hold high hopes and positive expectations for love. You are ready to embrace new emotional experiences with an open heart. So, yeah, be open to these changes that are coming in, because it is for the best. And I think you're just becoming realigned with your purpose. And I think you've been through a lot, and you've shown that you are so flexible. You can adapt really well with anything, any obstacle that comes in your way. And you've gained a lot of wisdom through your experiences. And I think you don't give yourself enough credit for the amount of growth that you've had, because I feel like you feel like you don't deserve to take a break. There's something in you that feels guilty when you sit down for 5 minutes. And I'm not sure what that blockage is here, but it might be helpful to spend some time journaling, or even looking back through old photos and seeing what your life was like 5-10 years ago, and realizing how different it is now than it was then. And I think that will help you have more grace for yourself, because you have been working so hard, and God is so proud of you for all of your accomplishments. But it's time to rest now. Because this big change is coming in, and you're going to need to make space for something new to come in. Whatever this might be. It could be a new friendship or even relationship. It doesn't have to be like a stray animal that comes in, but I just picked up on that strongly for somebody. So you could be spending time like decluttering, going through old boxes of stuff and getting rid of the things you don't need anymore, so that you can make space for new things to come in. So I hope that resonated. If it did, you can like the video, comment below, subscribe to my channel. I don't really post on a regular schedule. I just kind of make these videos when I have the time for it. So if you subscribe, then you'll get the notification right away for my videos. Anyway, I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you for the next one.